Hello, friends. Hey, I am taking 6 of my grandkids up to northern Arizona, and I just passed something that I thought would be very beneficial because I've had several requests on how to use natural medicines, homeopathic situations, and definitely with 10 kids, I had to use this kind of thing. I couldn't always run to the doctor. I believed strongly in doctors, but back when I was raising my children, they didn't have health care centers that were open through the weekends. Doctors were closed quite often on the weekends, and so I had to do something until we could get them there. The thing I'm going to show you right now is called Mullein. It is a natural antibiotic, but the scouts call it scout toilet paper. This is what the plant is, Mullein, and it begins like a cabbage plant. See the immature ones here? And if I can get a good look at the leaves, they're very, very fuzzy, like peach fuzz. So it makes a more than 2-ply toilet paper. For Mullein tea, you would take the immature leaves, pick them like this, rinse them good, then you can string them or put them in a brown paper bag and hang them in a dark place. Let them fully dry, and as they dry, even if they crumble, it winds up in the brown paper bag, and that's the tea leaf. It's really wonderful. But an amazing thing for ear infections is when they start to mature, the strength of the plant goes to the flower and to the seed. And so I would go out with my kids and we would pick the flowers like this. I'd give them each a little cup and we would pick flowers. And if you pick down deep, it's hard to do this with one hand, but you get a whole little cup of those. You see here several. They grow in colonies, and you can get the immature leaf and have it stored for tea. You can get the flower to make the oil. It's fun to see the grandkids out gathering and learning about natural medicine. I'm a big believer in modern medicine, but I certainly like alternative medicine because I'm not sure we're going to always be able to get the medical assistance or medical supplies. And it's nice to know things that would help our family. We've got 2 of these cups that the grandkids picked, and they're the flower, the Mullein flower. We're camping, so I don't have a mason jar. I'm going to take a water bottle, I'm going to put them in, and we happen to have olive oil. I have a daughter that is healthy enough to bring olive oil to cook even on a camp out. And we will just barely cover these, and then we'll put it out in the sun with a lid on and shake it up 2 or 3 times a day and allow it to steep in the sun like a sun pea or whatever would. And then at the end of 14 days, you drain the oil off through a strainer, and I try to put cheesecloth or through a coffee filter, something that's going to catch any little impurities, and put it in a brown dropper bottle, and then I do it with a little dropper so that you can put it in kids' ears, and it sure saves you all winter long when they get earaches and ear infections. So look at this. We've got that much mullein, and the only jar we had was a salsa jar that we washed up. It's steeping in the sun, and that is like liquid gold. It's going to be wonderful. I'm so proud of the kids for doing it. Hi, friends. I thought I would update you on how the mullein is doing. Last week at Cousin's Camp, we picked a whole jar full of the mullein flower. I've identified the plant for you. I've told you when to gather the leaves and when to gather the flowers. And it's definitely something that has blessed my life as a mother and a grandma to be able to have mullein as a natural antibiotic, as an ear drop for ear infections, to be able to have the leaf to make tea for bronchial difficulties, for it helps expel mucus. It also assists with croup or asthma. Anytime that you need to assist in taking the bronchial tube and getting rid of the swelling and clearing the airway, the mullein tea is wonderful. Another thing it's fabulous for is kidney and bladder infections. It's amazing for UTIs. And so I just thought I would update you. It's been 1 week, and remember, you take the flour to make the oil of mullein and steep it in the sun for 14 days. It's been 7 days. I'm going to show you what it looks like. There it is, sitting in a very sunny spot. It gets morning until sundown, and you can tell from the sunset that we're close to the end of the sun today. But I shake it up once or twice a day, and in that we're going to have probably 10 to 12 bottles of mullein leaf. Oil of mullein is what it is, and if you read on here, you can see that it was extracted with olive oil. Now, I certainly buy it from the health food store and think it's well worth it. But that's $14 right there. It's 2 fluid ounces. And I purchased a dozen fluid ounces of a dropper bottle that should be coming from Amazon in the near future, like a day or two. And I'm going to pour them up and give one to each one of my children and keep one for ourselves. So they'll have this for any ear infections that might happen to come. While I am talking to you about this one, in conjunction, I also use lobelia. And this is extract of lobelia, and it's been extracted with apple cider vinegar. Now, lobelia, I've not been able to identify in Arizona growing naturally, but I have purchased some. Yeah, it's a beautiful bluish purple flower, and it grows in the flower bed, and I have made the tincture of lobelia. But this too, you take the whole plant, you cleanse it, dry it totally. It can still be a green plant, but I mean no moisture is left on the plant. Chop it up good and cover it with apple cider vinegar and steep it in the sun for 14 days and then drain it off. And lobelia is wonderful for ear pain. It's wonderful for all pain. It's a natural pain reliever. If you have a distressed child, one that is experiencing colic or trauma of any kind, and you know how a child just can't quit crying. If you run a little stream of the lobelia down both sides of their backbone and rub it in, they will instantly start to calm and just become, it certainly doesn't do anything more than calm them. It's certainly not a knockout drop. Or if there's extreme pain for some reason, you can take and put a few drops underneath their tongue. They won't like it because it'll taste like pickled juice, but it's not horrible tasting. It's just the vinegar that they will taste. And it is amazing used that way. In the ear, it will stop an earache within 5 minutes max. And if you've ever had extreme ear pain, that's such a relief to be able to get something that can stop it. And they say you can't overdose on lobelia, but if you got too much, your body would begin vomiting it. So you're not going to poison yourself, but it could be used like Ipecac. If you had a poison that was not acidic, that wouldn't damage your esophagus, you could put a teaspoon or tablespoon down them, and they would then begin to throw up, and that would get the poison expelled from their body. It is an amazing thing to have on hand. I enjoy it. I have it always. I have grandkids, if they ever have an earache, even text Grandma and say, "Do you have some of that stuff that will help my ear? I have an earache, Grandma." And their parents immediately come over if they don't have it in their own medicine cabinet. I hope these things will help. It's just a couple of tips of things that I wouldn't want to be without in my medicine cabinet. I forgot to mention, if I get 10 of those 2-ounce bottles at $14 a bottle, I've just saved myself $140. Had fun with my grandkids and been able to teach them how to gather it for themselves and what to do with it after they get it. It's better to teach a man to fish than to give a man a fish. And so I hope that grandkids will remember that there are natural healing herbs out there that you can utilize for your own good and be able to identify and know how to use them. Well, the mullein has completed its 14 days of steeping in the sun, and now I'm draining it off and getting it ready to bottle. For ear medicine, it's called oil of mullein. You use it for ear infections. It's wonderful. Here we go. This is going to be the 8th bottle that I got from the oil of mullein, which is amazing. I have 10 kids, but some of them are down to only older kids, and so the younger ones will get the mullein first. As you can tell, I need to put another filter, and it'll just finish up that bottle, which will be absolutely amazing. It's wonderful to know that you've got something on hand naturally that can assist with your kids' problems, pain, and difficulties. I got 8 bottles of oil of mullein. I just gave 1 bottle to a granddaughter that brought over a couple of loaves of homemade bread she had made for us. And that calculates at $14 a bottle, which is what I buy it at the health store, $112. It looks quite professional. It'll work wonderful. And me and my grandkids got to enjoy gathering it, and they got to learn about it. It's all worth it. Look at what my dear friends brought to me. This is mullein leaf. They went to the northern part of Arizona, and it was growing all over, and when they saw it, they thought of the fact that I had mentioned mullein, so they picked all of this and brought it home. I washed it good. It's laying out to dry. I will dry it and make mullein tea out of it. And the mullein tea is used for, it's a natural antibiotic, and it's used for bronchitis, UTIs, asthma. It helps dispel mucus. It's just an amazing plant, and I'm so grateful to have it, because when it's dried, I will crush it all up and store it in a bottle. It'll probably make about a half gallon's worth of tea, and that's wonderful. I'm so grateful that I have dear friends. Let me show you what the leaf looks like closely. It's very, 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 here's one that'll show you. It has peach fuzz all over it. And it's a very dense leaf, so it'll take a little while to dry. But I have a setting on my dehydrator that I will lay these in at 100 degrees, or you could just gather a few and tie them in a bunch in your, and hang them in a closet to dry, if that's how you prefer doing it. But I'm excited about the abundance of this herb, because I went to get some at the health food store the other day. They said they couldn't get it. They were out of it, and they couldn't even get it in stock at the time. So it's wonderful to have it natural. Hi, I'm so excited. I've got all of the mullein dried, and I wanted to show you how much it made up to be. I've got a half gallon for myself. I've got 2 Ziploc bags for the friends that gathered it for me. I have a larger family, and I use it more than they will, but it would be nice for them to have it in their medicine cabinet. I actually believe I probably am dealing with a UTI right now, and I'm excited because I'm brewing some up. I had a fresh lemon. I sliced a couple of slices and put it in. It's steeping right now. I put it in a quart of water, and I put just a nice little handful in there. I make it nice and strong so that I can take it as medicine if I don't want to drink a cup of liquid, or I can put it over some ice or warm it if I like the comfort of a warm drink. I'll strain it, add a little honey, and it will be ready for me to take by the spoonful or by the cupful. And I also, the lemon will help me because I've been dealing a little bit with a cough and some congestion in my lungs. And it is an expectorant that really helps you get rid of the mucus in your lungs. And so I'm excited about it. I hope you'll try it. We've showed you how to identify it, what the flower is good for, what the leaf is good for. I'm going to turn this around and show you what we have as far as the yield of my dear friend's service. Thanks so much. Here we go. That's what I got out of all those leaves that you saw washed. But it literally is so valuable because I went to the health food store and they weren't even able to get it. And it will work wonders for us when we need it. There we go. I've strained it up. I've got just over a quart, and I will enjoy this in a glass. There it is. I hope to be feeling a little better after I get a few of these glasses inside of me. It's a very mild tea. You can put it in juices to get it down you or your kids, and just make it concentrated so that you're getting the strength of the medicinal properties that it has in it.